Hello, beautiful people. This month, this year, we are surfing on our high flying disc. And sometimes we can get knocked off the surfboard, right? The universal surfboard. I want to talk about that today. We're going to talk about a few things that can knock us off, and I really want to focus today on energetic protection. So a lot of times we feel so high, right? And then all of a sudden we're knocked down and we really don't know why. I want to show you about 3 techniques that you can do to energetically protect yourself so that you stay in a high vibe. And when you do fall off the surfboard of the high flying disc, that you use that moment to really clarify what you really desire, where you are, where you want to be, and not use it as a moment to pummel yourself, but just as a moment of reflection and take a look at the contrast and then get back on that high flying disc again. Hey, this is Rebecca, and we are diving deep so we can rise high today. First, I want to show you my shirt. Don't forget, anything is possible. These are available on my Redbubble Brilliant Possibilities site. So be sure to check them out. I love this saying, don't forget, anything is possible. So what happens? I have a song called When Heaven Meets Hell. You know those days when you're going along and you feel really good, and then boom, something happens in here or out here, and you just collide into something that just pummels you into feeling awful. Now, what's happening there? Now, a few things could be happening. So let's go into that before I go into the 3 techniques of how to energetically protect yourself. The one thing is that we have subconscious layers of our psyche that are creating for us. And if we haven't cleaned up that programming in those areas of past trauma, we sometimes don't realize it, because even though consciously we're in a great vibe, high mood, right? The subconscious is creating for us and creating a point of attraction. So we could be going along on our high flying disc, and something might trigger us, and we don't even consciously realize it, but something that could trigger something from our subconscious past kind of makes this attraction, and we kind of fall down vibrationally, and then we don't feel good. And it seems like it comes out of nowhere, and it seems like it's not even ours. Sometimes, most of the time, it's not ours, but we are at a point of attraction in our subconscious for it. So that's one thing. Another thing is that, guys, we're getting lighter and lighter. Light workers are evolving and expanding and growing in the light, and we're getting super bright. And there's certain frequencies on planet Earth and in the 4th dimension that really don't want us to be that bright. So they're called oppositional forces. And they actually come in when they see bright vibration, high frequency, and they start to kind of lower the frequency. So all of a sudden, if we feel like we don't feel good anymore, that could be it. So it could be a point of attraction from our subconscious, or it could be an oppositional force. So what do we do about these 2 things? So let's talk about that today. These 3 things. The first one is, remember I just said that not everything is yours. Exactly. So what we're going to do, it's an access consciousness tool, and this is called Return to Sender. Now, you're creating some kind of point of attraction. So a good thing to realize that is if something is coming your way, there's something in you that is co-creating with it. But if you want to feel better instantly, what you can do is say return to sender. So return to sender with consciousness, and then from there, clean up your subconscious. First, I really want to reiterate that The law of attraction is always working. You're always a co-creator. But sometimes it doesn't make sense to our conscious mind because we've done so much work with our conscious programming and things. So it's in the subconscious where you're attracting some of this lower vibrational stuff. And when you're picking up things from your neighbor or energetics from, a colleague at work, you're kind of picking up their low vibes that's matching with a low vibe in your subconscious that you don't even know is running the show. First off, if you feel like all of a sudden you were having a high vibe day and then you pummeled for some reason, and you have a mood or a vibe that you're like, where did this come from? Most likely you're picking it up on some kind of law of attraction vibe from something around you, and you can return it to sender. So all you have to say is be aware of the energy shift and be like, I'm going to return this to sender with consciousness. Now, the next thing to know is that now we got to go in and to clean up that subconscious. So you can do that through asking in meditation, or you can do breath work and yoga. You can do journaling, You can ask the universe questions. What energy, space, and consciousness am I being in my subconscious that's attracting this? Then sit in meditation and write. And awareness and getting it up into our consciousness really starts to clean that out. Another thing you can do is different types of energy work. I know Holy Fire Reiki really helps to clear out old programming in our subconscious, as well as Marconics, no touch. So yeah, different forms of energy work can do that, as well as singing. And the voice work I do, conscious voice work, can do that as well. So there's ways to kind of play with the subconscious to bring it into the consciousness and take the subconscious energies and let them go. So number one, energetic protection is return to sender and then do some work to clear out the subconscious. Number two, we want to work with oppositional forces, those fourth dimensional lower fourth dimensional frequencies that really don't want humans to rise higher than them. They have a certain agenda and they really want to cap the consciousness on the earth plane. However, us light workers are rising high, in the high fourth dimension, fifth, sixth, we have aspects of all of it. And we came here to raise the frequency of the planet. So oppositional forces and light workers kind of are rubbing each other the wrong way here. So what can you do? Now, this is what I do, and it's pretty powerful because, interestingly enough, I used to only use return to sender, but I started to really take a rise in my frequency, and I started to get slimed. Yes, that is a real thing. I had some clients, and there was just some yucky energetics that was happening, and I came home and I felt like I was going to vomit. I've had a headache. I had no energy. I got zapped and slimed. I checked in with my mentor, and she was like, yeah, sounds like you got slimed. So we had to close portals, cut cords, do all this clearing. So you can get clearing done if you notice that you don't feel good, but you can cut it at the chase there. You can put this next protection up that I'm going to tell you about before you get slimed. I really recommend it. So when you get up in the morning and then, do it a few times during the day, what you're going to do is tune in to your highest frequency. What is that for you? I tune into source at the 144th, by me, through me, as me. And then from there, I ground myself into the Omega Chakra, which is the chakra just below, about 18 inches below your feet. And so I just ground my light body into that. And then I use sacred geometry. I use a dodecahedron. You can Google it. It's like this, it's this structure. So you're going to imagine a dodecahedron around you. Okay, you're going to put a little skylight down in there for grounding into your Omega Chakra. And then you're going to imagine there's a little skylight in it just to keep your source connection. And then you can imagine gold light, like gold leaf. And you can imagine that light trickling down and fusing, gold fusion in all the creases of the dodecahedron. So imagine that is around you, okay? And it's kind of this light gold dodecahedron that can protect those oppositional forces from not seeing you. Or sensing you. They can't see. Sensing you. All right, so give that a try. Dodecahedrons, I've been using it lately and it seems to be pretty potent. I can sustain pretty well if I remember to use it. All right, same thing with return to sender. These things don't work unless you use them. Okay, so you do that in the morning, check in at lunchtime, check in late afternoon. Late afternoon, it's a big slump, a whole collective lowering of energy. Make sure you raise your frequency, put your dodecahedron around you. So yeah, as I said in my last video, I always thought vibration would protect me. I was just like, oh, well, I'll just raise my vibration and tune into everybody's light. And it does work. But as humans, we are doing the roller coaster, right? A vibrational roller coaster throughout our day, So are we always going to be super, super high? There's times that we do little dips. There's times we're watching the news or we have something going on with our kid, like that we do a little dip. And when we do that little dip, if it's longer than 17 seconds, then all of a sudden we have an energetic crisis and we might have something sliming us or jumping on or attracting us. However, that said, I really did believe that I needed absolutely no energetic protection because my frequency would protect me. And I've learned otherwise recently. So this dodecahedron can really help us from those oppositional forces. Okay, and so number 3 is simply ask. Simply ask for the most appropriate energetic protection in this moment. Okay, and what happens is that the source energy you're working with kind of just sets you all up. Okay, but you need to ask for it because this is a free will zone. Okay, and we get to be having free will consciously now, and so we just have to choose it. We just have to choose and say, source energy, please give me the appropriate energetic protection for walking into the food store. Please give me the appropriate energetic protection I need for walking into my son's school. There's all different energies. So if we put the appropriate energetics up and live consciously, we're going to be able to surf on that high-flying disc. Now, if you're not a follower of Abraham Hicks, you might not know what I'm talking about. The high-flying disc is meaning that we are in the vortex. We are really choosing for our highest vibrational alignment. And so I've been talking about that a lot this year with this new paradigm and this new year. We want to be waking up in the morning and not getting out of bed until we feel fully aligned with our highest frequency in the vortex living. And that's when we're surfing on that high-flying disc. And when we feel like we've dropped off that high-flying disc, no problem. We just become aware of it. What thought, what happened, what frequency just did that. And it could be that we didn't set up protection, so we can return to sender or put our dodecahedron on or ask for the protection. Before you put protection up, if you're having a hard moment, be sure to clear yourself. Okay, clear your field, raise your vibration up, and then put the protection up. And so to recap, these 3 little tools you can use is keep your vibration high, get on your high-flying disc, and then you can return to sender if you feel something that's wobbly, that's not part of your frequency, high frequency, or set up a dodecahedron, or just ask source for the appropriate protection deemed for this moment in time. All right, beautiful people, let me know what you use. Okay, we're on this channel remembering our greatness together. So do you use energetic protection? I'm curious what you use. And have you ever thought that if you raise your vibration really high, you don't need any protection? What do you know about oppositional forces? I've just started to learn about them this year. And honestly, it can get a little creepy, but I'm learning just to be like, oh, it's all just frequency. We're just playing with frequency. When I simplify life and the universe that way, it's way less scary for me. So everything's a frequency, and I'm just playing with frequencies. And when I am on my high flying disc, I'm on my high source frequency, and that's where I want to be most of my day. And living consciously means that you are aware of when you're on that flying disc, and you're aware when you've kind of jumped off. So when heaven meets hell, clear your field, return to sender, put up a dodecahedron, ask for the appropriate protection that you need. All right, beautiful people, keep choosing for your highest vibrational alignment. This is your daily reminder for that as we go into this this day, this night, and I'm on a 30-day experiment, and I know a few other people here are too, with really committing to getting up in the morning and not getting out of bed until we can get the frequency of our vortex, of our high flying disc. And the past 2 days, I'm going to be really candid and honest with you. The past few days, it's been a little challenging. So honestly, I've had half work days. I'm not starting my workday till about 1 o'clock in the afternoon because getting in that high flying disc is a little harder. I've been not feeling great. I'm doing, I think, a little detoxing. So, I'm doing whatever it takes. I'm following my awareness and really allowing the self-care my body needs right now. So that means working half days for a few days. So, but how do you get onto your high flying disc? I gave some ideas a few videos ago. So go check that video out. I hope this is super helpful. I love making these videos. I love having a tribe here that I'm speaking to. It really helps my own journey and my awakening process. So thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of the tribe. And if you're not part of the tribe, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you back here another time. Bye, everyone. Namaste.